Season 33, last war of the season. Going up against GT40 today. They're ranked number 1, and we are currently ranked number 3. And in order to finish number 3 for the season, we have to win this war. I'm on backup in Section 1. My first fight is going to be this Powersnackin Peni. There's a white Magneto pre-fight on it, and there's a Mr. F Petrify assigned to it, but I decided to take the fight without the Mr. F because I really wasn't sure how heavies were going to interact with her now that she's been fixed, even if they were while she's passively stunned. And I really didn't want to find out that interaction in this war today because it's an important war for us. So instead, I opted to take a different strategy. I'm going to build my ruptures up to 20, and I'm going to let the burst damage tick her away. I've seen another YouTuber, Mashuri, do this with his Spidey 99, and I really liked the strategy. So I'm going to keep pausing my debuffs and make sure that this wither lasts until the point where we reach backup recovery, and that's going to prevent her from gaining too much power, if any at all. So right there it triggered. She barely gained anything. And now I'm just going to keep building my ruptures, keep letting them burst and deal her a bunch of damage. I'm going to make a mistake right here though. I shouldn't have gone for these hits. I should have just backed off and continued to hit her block because it drained me of my power and I was getting close to a special 2. If I had backed off and just continued with my game plan, I would have been able to drop a special 2 and put another wither on her and then just continue with the rupture strategy. But now, because I've lost my wither, I've made the fight hard on myself. I've slowed it down considerably, and it's going to take a lot longer to finish her off because I can't rely on the rupture DOT damage or the rupture burst damage. So now I have to start dropping her sync shield again, and in the process dealing no damage to her. And when I finally get it down, I can go for actual damage hits. Right there I stunned her, but I didn't go for a heavy, again because I'm really not sure how heavy attacks are going to interact with her while her sync shield is up. Drop the special 2, and we wrap her up. Moving on, I'm going to be taking this Sassy on Kinetic and Footloose. I've never taken this fight before, but with it having Kinetic, it should be pretty easy for Spidey 99 because I take a lot of Kinetic fights on the right side of the map in Section 2. So it's pretty much the same idea. I have 3 Mr. F pre-fights from my alliance mate, Rick. They originally had assigned him this fight with Torch, but they changed it up and had him bring Mr. F instead to give me these pre-fights because it was the only fight that they had him taking Torch with. So my game plan is reverse his power gain from the Kinetic with my debuffs here, my Wither, my Exhaustions, and the Mr. F. And on top of that, when you apply an Exhaustion to Sassy, it turns off all of his own abilities, so he can't get rage stacks, therefore he can't go into Wrath, and he can't get regen. So with not being able to throw a special and not having his own abilities, it's pretty much just a parry, 5-hit, watch out for the global timer. Now I'm going to be on Path 6 in Section 2, and I brought Magneto for this section. I'm going to be taking this Nova with him, the Dragon Man after, and then a Heimdall after that. I changed my masteries around, and I maxed out Pacify. So that gives me a 30% ability accuracy reduction when I stun, and then on top of the Magnetism, which is a 70% ability accuracy reduction, while they are stunned, they should have 100% reduced ability accuracy. I did that mainly for the Dragon Man fight, and I'm going to show you why when we get there. For this one, I decided not to just stick to the normal parry heavy routine because I wasn't sure if Magnetism was going to turn off his power gain when he dashes over long distances. So I wanted to try and get to my special 3 as quickly as possible without having to bait out 67 specials from him in the process. So I'm going to weave in my combos here, weave in some heavies from time to time when I can land a reparry. Right there, he decided to throw 2 mediums. Now that I'm getting close, I'm going to start charging up some prowess more. I thought about baiting out this special 1 first, but I figured it really wouldn't matter if he threw a special 2. Although I didn't expect him to throw it right away, so I wasn't ready for it, so I decided just to block it. Now here, I'm going to drop my special 3, and this is pretty much going to kill him. So the node itself, if the defender gets 3 prowess, their specials become unblockable, and the node gives Nova 1 right off the bat, but not being able to get any others in any way, I knew I didn't really have to worry about it. It's kind of useless. So this Dragon Man here, whenever I parry him, it's going to place a passive disorient on me. And this is what I maxed out Pacify for, because I figured after the first parry, once Magnetism kicked in, between the Pacify and the Magnetism, I should not get the disorient for the rest of the fight. And it actually ends up working pretty well. Now this node, however, will give him prowess if he hits me with any of his special attack hits. So rather than block them all like I normally would against Dragon Man, I decided to just evade them because I really wasn't sure if Magnetism would stop the node from giving him prowess, and it's pretty easy to evade, so I figured why not. The one thing I made sure to do was to get an overabundance of prowess to make sure that my special 3 kills him here, because if you armor break him, he can put a degen on you, and I really wasn't sure if it would kill me. I didn't think it would, but I didn't want to find out, so I just went overboard to make sure that it was a one-shot with the special 3. Moving on, I have this Heimdall here. This is Mighty Charge and some kind of protection intercept. I've never done this path before. This is my first time. It was super safe with Magneto, but I had to look up the nodes themselves and kind of get a feel for how people like to play them. So I went and I browsed YouTube for a bit. My game plan for this one is just reparry, build up my prowess, get to a special 3, and then I'm going to land an intercept before I throw my special 3 so that I can remove the protection from him, get a nice big chunky fury, and that'll pretty much one-shot him. Now I was paying attention to the global here, but I really wasn't too worried about it, I guess you could say. If he happened to trigger Unstoppable, like here, like I went for it, because if he happened to trigger Unstoppable, he's metal. Mangs gets crazy OP stats against metal champs, so if he hit me, I wasn't too concerned with it and just helped me build power. Advanced tactics. So right here, I go for a heavy intercept because Mags has that Unstoppable, so you can go for it. It didn't work though. I think I released it too late, so I'm gonna go for it again here in a second. I'm gonna get it. Then I'm gonna charge up my prowess again, drop the special 3 with 34, I think it was, and this is gonna kill him. Now moving into section 3, I'm gonna have the normal Mangog fight that I have, except this time I have 3 Mr. F pre-fights. My alliance mate Infamous was taking more fights with Mr. F, so he had so many pre-fights to give out, and he was giving them out like candy. It was super cool. I actually thought that I might be able to get a new fast time for this fight because of the extra unique debuffs, because Spidey's special 2 deals extra burst damage based on unique debuffs, but it actually ended up working out to be the same exact time that I've gotten, which is 51 seconds. But still a super clean, super easy fight at this point. I'm very, very used to it. I'm very comfortable with it. Working in the rupture build-up, keeping them at high levels for extra damage there. Trigger's unstoppable, and then I'm going to drop this special 2, and it's going to wrap him up. So GT40 had already locked in first place, and we really didn't know if they were going to go for the 12-0 perfect season or if they were going to kind of relax for this war, because they didn't actually need the win. And it turns out about halfway through we realized that they were just kind of testing some stuff out, kind of having a stress-free war, and definitely makes sense. I think this is their 4th season in a row being war champions. They had an opportunity to not have to finish out their last war of their season, have it being stress and high boosts and all that stuff for it, and I would do the same if I was in their position. But congrats to them on first place. We ended up going 150-1. I think this might have been our best war of the season, and we secured 3rd place. Thank you very much for watching.